Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now, I'm going to be honest, this video I did not think I'd be making anytime soon. It is early February here on the property, and if you watch the channel and are subscribed, I hope, you know that I recently purchased a Chinese mini excavator back in April of 2024 and sold it in November, and had just released a review video about my purchase and sale of that mini excavator. Now, in that video, I did say that I was not going to buy anything for the winter off season here and take this time to do a lot of homework into different brands and options and see where it really points me what direction. That was the plan. That was the intent, but, well, something happened and the plan changed quite rapidly and I bought something. So let me show you what I bought. Well, after a lot of research and shopping, this is what I ended up buying. A used 2020 Bobcat E26 mini excavator. All right, how did I end up with this machine? Way ahead of my original timeline. Well, at the time when I filmed the review video, I had gone to see Kubota and Yanmar equipment. And I looked at both new and used machines in the 2.5 to 3 ton range. The Yanmar VAO25 and the Kubota either U27 or KX030. Both very capable and great machines, but I wanted to look at all my options, and Bobcat was the next brand I wanted to look at. So about a week after I did that video, I called my nearest Bobcat dealer, and the largest one in the area here in southern New England is Bobcat of Connecticut. They have 2 locations in Connecticut, 2 locations in Mass, and 1 in Rhode Island. I called the flagship location in Connecticut at East Hartford and talked to a general manager. Told him I wanted the E26. This was the one I was looking for within the size, weight, and power ratings. They had a couple new and 1 used one. So I went down the next day and he showed me the 2 new machines. And they're brand new. There's nothing wrong with them. They're great. They're open station or canopy machines, which is what I could afford. I could never afford to get a cab on a new machine. Then he asked if I had an interest in a used machine. Now, typically, I don't like to buy used. If it comes to vehicles, equipment, anything with a motor in it, I'm very hesitant because I don't know how that was treated before I bought it. Was it not serviced properly? Was it beat up? What other headaches am I buying into? So I said, sure, I'll look at a used machine just to see what he has. And this is what he showed me. It had just come in on trade from a large electrical contractor in Connecticut, and they wanted to get rid of it pretty quickly. The end of the year was coming up. They wanted to move the stock in and out. And he said that it was a decent deal. So I looked it over and pretty clean. Not much damage on it at all for being used and being almost 5 years old. And the hours, what caught my attention the most, 437 hours on it. So he was able to give me some service history about this machine because they bought it new from them and it had no service history. It was bought brand new in April of 2020 and was never brought in for service, which is good and bad in my opinion. Good that nothing went wrong with it. They didn't break anything severe, hydraulics, tracks, anything in the cab, but it also makes me question the routine maintenance of it. I tried to do some homework into that company, call them a couple times if they can give me some insight into their shop. I got nowhere. So Bobcat of Connecticut was asking $37,000 for this machine used, which was a little steep for my budget, but I took it at face value. I thanked him for the time and went home and did some research. I looked at machines this age range and this low hours to see where they kind of fell. And I learned quite quickly that they fell within an aggressive price range they wanted to sell it. So I contacted the GM a couple days later. We negotiated on a price, and we settled on a price. And next thing you know, this was mine. Well, after we settled on a price and I locked it in as mine, the buying process was extremely easy and almost painless after we agreed upon a price. Everything was done electronically, all done online, signed the paperwork back and forth, and I took delivery of this between Christmas and New Year's. And unfortunately, here it has sat ever since. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just can't use it this time of year. The ground is frozen, and it's just not the right time for me to start projects. That was the one hesitation I had, and the largest hesitation I had, about buying anything this time of year, because I knew I couldn't use it. It would sit. But I couldn't pass up this deal. When I saw the numbers made sense and what I was getting out of this, the biggest plus for me, the biggest add-on that I knew I couldn't afford new was that cab. Now, this is a 3-ton or 6,000-pound machine, and in Kubota and Yanmar, similar size machines, the cab only has heat. This cab has heat and air conditioning, fully enclosed. I absolutely love that. I have no problem with it sitting outside. I feel better with it sitting outside with a fully enclosed cab. And come the summer season, I can work a little bit longer in that cab a little more comfortably. So really, really happy I picked it up. Even though it's sitting here, it's a lawn ornament for now. But trust me, the projects I have for this unit coming up this year are becoming endless. I'm so excited. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to Bobcat of Connecticut. They're not sponsoring me. They have no idea making a video about this, but they really treated me right. They did a great job in communicating with me and being honest about the buying process. And I'd be remiss if I didn't give them a quick shout out and say, check them out. If you guys live anywhere in the southern New England area or can drive to one of their locations and looking at a piece of equipment that Bobcat makes or other brands that they sell, I highly recommend it. Their sales team was great. Their service team, more importantly to me, was squared away team, and they're on top of things. And that was huge to me when I was looking for a piece of equipment. I wanted a service team behind that brand and behind that dealership. Because when I have problems or questions, I want to pick up that phone and talk to somebody. And they reassured me down there. They showed me their whole operation, reassured me that they have a top-notch service team. And what I was able to see so far, they really do. Huge plus and a huge selling point for me. So this is mine. I could not be happier about it. We have a couple things we want to get ready before we fully put it into service this spring into summer. But gosh, this fell into my lap and I couldn't be happier. All right, let's kind of wrap it up for today. I appreciate you guys watching. A bit of a short video here, but I wanted to introduce this to the channel and show you guys what I bought, a little bit of history behind it, and how I ended up with this machine and couldn't say no to the deal. I'm very excited for the projects I have listed for this machine for the coming year. A lot of good content I'll be making about this machine and putting out there for you guys to watch. I have a couple little things I want to do to it before we put it into full rotation for the springtime. A little cosmetic work here and there, clean the cab out, but overall, it's ready to get to it. If you have any questions about this machine or about Bobcat in general, let me know. I'll leave some links to Bobcat of Connecticut and to Bobcat's E26 page in general in the description for this video. So if you're on the fence about looking for one or want to get one, you have some resources for you. Any questions or other comments, leave them down below. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Kind of fell in my lap, and I couldn't say no to this.
On the web for how did this happen? How do I end up with this so quickly? And way above and beyond my timeline when I initially heard. Check it out.
Wow, thanks Siri. Don't need your input. Some links to Bobcat and Bobcat of Connecticut. Really? Trump. Damn helicopter. Wait for it to pass. Wait for it to pass. Who's calling me? Who is freaking calling me? Jeff Turner. Jeff, that can wait.